Bro, you didn't include any TikTok time in your day. For watching, I don't really watch. I mean, I watch a little bit. Like I'm relatively well versed of like who the players are and some of the themes that are going on out there. And I love the fact that I know some of the inside jokes. But I'm basically just shooting stuff and then dumping it to my laptop when I can. I wonder how loud that was. My daughter going up the stairs. I need to go put her in bed in a second. How do you get into the cycle of creating, filming content as second nature? Recording all the time seems exhausting. It's actually not. Well, at least it's not for me. If nothing else, I see too many things that I want to talk about and that I want to grab clips of. When I usually dump things over and I start to edit at the end of the day, I've got 5 to 7 minutes worth of stuff. I then need to be really thoughtful about, well, what actually makes for a cohesive story, or at least the way that I see it in my head. And sometimes I grab stuff where I'm like, this is so cool, and I have a really specific thought in the moment, and then it's gone. But it's always inside my head. Like, if nothing else, I wish I could tune it out more, because it is consistently nagging me to take a clip of something, to tell a story, to tie things together in a specific way. It's really been about getting the rigor down so that the process is manageable and sustainable. Luckily, I work as a profession because of what I do and because of what I'm in charge of with a large creative team. Like, process and workflow is inherent to everything that we do. The process is the fun part. And I'm a firm believer of, quote unquote, trusting the process, knowing that I'm going to make mistakes and I'm going to fail, and then we're going to do some really, really, really bad stuff. Hopefully things that I'm proud of, or hopefully things that I like, or hopefully things that resonate along the way as well, makes everything else easier. And then it's just a matter of balancing, okay, I want to be talking about this stuff all the time. I feel like I've got all of these thoughts throughout the course of a day. How do I kind of boil it down and be like, all right, let's kind of segment it out? So it's not exhausting. It's not exhausting for me. I wish I could actually do a lot more of it. Why cold shower? I used to be addicted to, arguably still am, cryotherapy. And it was amazing, absolutely amazing. But the place by my office closed down, so I wanted to kind of keep the cold therapy part of the routine. Gave it a couple whirls, and now I'm addicted to that as well. It's kind of a nice mental hurdle to get past every morning, and I feel like it's good for me, especially now that I'm in my prime mid-40s. So yeah, I dig it. Could you speak to how you and your creatives approach OKRs and KPIs? So super high-level business speak for your objectives and goals with quantitative results. The way we look at it ties back to our sales objectives. So let me take a step back. So my side of the company sells media at a local level across the country, right? We are the reason why if you're streaming something or if you're watching something on TV and it goes from like a Coors Light spot to Bob's Toyota, so-and-so's laundromat, the local restaurant, etc., my company does that. We help connect the dots. We help make advertising locally more simple for businesses to be able to get the most bang for their buck and also get the most awareness for their business. My team does the creative for those businesses. That's why we have super high scale. We do like 20,000 pieces of creative on an annual basis. As I've said a bazillion times, I've got a team of about 240 people. That's what we do. I like looking at the business aspect relative to OKRs and KPIs like the back of a baseball card. What's going to tell the most interesting story that is not only going to hit our business objectives, but the people on the team can wrap their heads around and say, okay, I get that. Because if you can get 240 people to all think the same way, specifically around really finite goals, it makes it so much easier. If they're just super high level things, it's like, oh, this is what I want to do. Who gives a shit? No one else. It's going to be super hard to get people on board with that. So things like how much of every dollar can we help bring in the door? That kind of shows the creative prowess that we might bring, or how much creative can help in the larger equation. So I think if you can not only think about it relative to the business, but you can also think about it in ways that are going to be truly digestible and understandable to large groups of people that don't necessarily deal with OKRs or KPIs on a day in and day out basis, you're going to have that much better of a chance of being successful. How do I maintain high levels of energy for each day? Book my calendar full. Makes it really hard to get tired when you just don't stop moving. I genuinely enjoy what I do, and I get excited about the conversations, and I'm really passionate about the details, especially with as long as I've been doing this specific job for. I've been there for 9 years now, and I feel like I continue to get a little bit better each day. Still not close to being perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but that makes it easy to really get into it. How do I wake up and get excited for the day to begin? Does the monotony ever get to me? No, and no. And the reason why I say no is because I enjoy all of those small elements. And the fact that I get to do it again and again and again is really fun. And I know that what I do, at least for me, I found a groove. What I do on a day in and day out is I consider a privilege. I consider a privilege to get up every day at 4 o'clock, feel healthy enough to go for a walk, be in good enough shape where I can dive into work and feel like I'm being productive. There's so much about the rigor of the day in and day out that I truly enjoy, and it's like it just keeps getting more and more refined, which makes it more and more enjoyable, and my perspective gets deeper and deeper, and that just kind of refuels it all over again. Look, you guys met me, most of you guys met me when I was 42 years old, 43. Most, actually, probably percentage wise, most of you met me when I was already 44 years old. There are 43 years, well, maybe let's count reasonably, 35 years, 32 years of who I was and who I am that kind of came to fruition up until this point where you guys just kind of like all of a sudden our worlds somehow merged and you saw what I do on a day in and day out basis. It's refined and it's specific, and I try to idiot proof things for myself because I'm not a super smart dude. So the fact that I get to do this and I really do find what I do for a living a privilege, like the fact that people come back to work every day and that they believe in what I can help them do, is fucking outstanding. So the more often I can do it and do it better, I'm totally cool with all that.